movie talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is The Daily Show, where we give you all the latest news from the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today is Jon Campea.
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, coming to you from right here at the Collider Video Studios here in Burbank, California. So happy to be joined by rocket scientist Ashley today. I mean, like, seriously, she looks intimidating. She looks so smart.
Do I?
Yes.
I'm so intelligent today.
That's
also
awesome.
here is Jon Schnepp.
Yep, these glasses really do it for me.
Oh, he got dumb. He just got dumb right there. Get smart again, Schnepp.
You cannot say inappropriate jokes with glasses on, so I'm going to keep it PG today. Also, here is Marc Ellis.
I don't have glasses. Movies and butts.
Hey guys, listen, this happens sometimes. Something kind of dropped after we already got all our show notes together. Entertainment Weekly has just released the cover of their upcoming issue, and it's all Beauty and the Beast, baby. Take a look at this cover. Look, I think this cover looks amazing. Like, if you were to illustrate to me, it's like, hey, we got some Beauty and the Beast images that's going to capture the movie. This is what I would envision. So let's just start with you guys. Let's just talk about the cover for a second. Schnepp, what do you think about this cover?
It looks beautiful. I mean, it definitely
the dress is perfect.
It captures the animated Beauty and the Beast brought to life. I mean, it's epic and stunning.
What do you think, Mark?
I love Belle. I love the dress. I love everything. I love the look of the costume of the Beast, but his actual head, it just doesn't really, it doesn't look as realistic as I wanted it to. It looks like she's dancing with a CGI character, and that's not what I was hoping for my first image of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. It just seems a little fake to me.
I honestly think it looks dead realistic. I'm almost wondering if that's just, what's the dude from Downton Abbey? What's his name?
Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens. I mean, I could be totally wrong about this. It would not be the first time. But I would almost think that's actually Dan Stevens just in a lot of makeup there.
It totally could be.
You could be totally right, though.
I mean, look, I don't have glasses, so I am the dumb guy here today. But I'm just going to tell you, I was a little underwhelmed by the look of the face of the Beast. It just didn't look like it was quite clicking with what Emma Watson was doing in this one picture. But I'm still excited to see material from Beauty and the Beast, which I think is going to be an amazing blockbuster next year.
And I got to say, I think Emma looks amazing. Mm-hmm. That dress is perfect. The Beast's costume. I mean, this is truly a live action rendition of the animated classic, because even the Beast's outfit, everything from the, what do you call the ruffly white thing that comes out from under his coat
Ruffly
there?
white thing.
Ruffly white thing.
It's a pirate shirt. It's a puffy shirt.
If I had glasses, maybe I'd know what this is called. Maybe it's some kind of ascot. I was going to say, is it a form of an ascot? That's what kind of looks like. It looks.
Hang on a second, Wendy. I'll handle this. It's in a form of an ascot.
Okay, got it. All right, but I am curious to know, like, ladies, and Wendy, let's start with you. What do you think of this? What do you think of this cover?
I think the cover is actually gorgeous. I get what you guys are saying about the Beast and how he looks a little CGI'd. I don't know if maybe they try to, I don't know, make it look like that for the magazine cover. I mean, it's a little over photoshopped to me, but I'm thinking in the movie it's going to look a lot better. But the dress, yes, the color is great, and the skirt looks gorgeous and full, like a full ball gown. But I'm not sure about the sleeves. And if you go on entertainment.com, you're going to see like another image of.
Well, we're going to look at more images here in just a second.
Okay, so
yeah.
I will hold.
Ooh.
But I do like the cover.
Ashley, what do you think about it?
I'm not into it, honestly. He literally looks like a centaur. He looks like a Game of Thrones character. And Emma Watson as Belle, I think everyone's always been already been flipping out over her casting. Everyone loves it, but she never was Belle to me. But seeing her in this outfit, I buy her, but not so much the Beast. Like, that is a centaur if I've ever seen one.
Now, does this have anything to do with the fact that you were the runner-up to play Belle in this movie?
I was. I'm a little bit
butthurt
hurt about it. I'm not gonna lie.
It also doesn't look a little. It looks like there's like a ghost pulling on her dress, like back. It looks like there's like a ghost
it's
that's like
motion.
She's tugging on it.
Spinning. It's a grand library ballroom.
Let's see some more images before.
All right.
Marc Ellis
Speaking of which, yeah, we've got some more images. I've never seen these yet, so let's bring up the first one here. Oh, beautiful! Look at the set design there. That's gorgeous. Okay, let's bring up the next one. And we're going into. Oh, there we go. Oh, good. The library. Oh, what's going on with her hair there?
Well, that's Belle hair.
Yeah, no, I like it.
She lets it flow.
No, absolutely. Are they? And look, that's right out of the animated thing where she's on the rolling ladder. Oh my. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting really excited here. Okay, let's show us the next one. Her and her dad. Is that Kevin Kline playing her dad? I think it was. Was it not?
Totally buy that. Yeah.
Or Geppetto.
Or Geppetto.
Or the actual
okay.
Geppetto.
Okay, and what's next? Oh, and there it is. There's
Okay, now
the
see,
dress.
that's her in motion. That's her. That's her sans ghost.
That is her sans ghost. Is that the last one, or are there more? Okay, let's see the next one. I dig it. The horns are a little more far out than it looks like something that would be out of a not a Guillermo del. It looks like something out of a Guillermo del Toro movie a little bit.
It looks like they're deciding what to order for dinner.
All right, what's next? Oh, and then we got Gaston. That look, I saw a clip of Luke Evans and Josh Gad singing just a few bars of "Oh, What a Guy That Gaston." I cannot wait to see that musical number. All right, what's next? Last one. This. Oh, and our first look at Cogsworth and Lemire and.
I'm in there, man. See, that was a lot more realistic than the Beast's face did in the cover photo that we saw for Entertainment Weekly. But Entertainment Weekly is not the best at doing these kind of movie spreads, as they've proven in the past with such movies as Terminator Genesis or X-Men Apocalypse. But here, a lot of these images really spoke to me, much more so than the cover photo did. And you're right, it makes you feel like you're watching a live-action version of the classic 91 animated movie. So it looked great to me.
I'm really excited.
You know what, the cover, though, like Dan Stevens was explaining to his young daughter what daddy's doing and how he's being physically replaced by putting this weird paint on, and she's like, what is CGI? He's like, oh, that's the Clever Gnome Institute. It's these people who take daddy's face away and put this other creature's face over it.
That's awesome.
So the gnomes aren't done with the cover, Mark. That's all I'm saying.
They're
I don't think
clever gnomes, so they obviously have glasses.
Well, did these images work for you guys better than it did for the cover, Wendy? No.
Look, here's the thing.
I'm agog and aghast.
I am shocked.
Okay, well, here I'll give you the reason why. So, okay, we're gonna start with the positives. Gaston in both shots looks great. LeFou looks great. The Belle in the blue dress, I think it looks just like the cartoon. Movie. The Beast, I'm fine with. I think he's gonna look better, honestly, in the movie. I really have a problem with her ball gown. That was like the big reveal. That classic moment when she came down the staircase. This dress to me in her solo shot looks too modern. It reminds me of like a prom dress. And in the movie, she had these pickups that are just with sashes and roses and very embellished. In this one, it's got like layers of peplum. I'm not really into it. I think emotional looks great, but like let's compare this to the Cinderella dress, the Lily Collins live action Cinderella dress. That was a dress, and I expected Belle's dress to be something of that caliber. And I am disappointed. And then for the little characters like Lumiere and Cogsworth, not into any of them.
I'm speechless.
I'm so disappointed.
It sounded like she's talking rocket scientists. The pickups, they're not corresponding. It's like guitar
I'm speechless because I'm loving everything. I don't know, Ashley, what do you think?
Cogsworth is the worst. Like, where is his face? Where's the expression? Where's the cartoon that I know? I don't see any excitement there, and like that's what I want from this Beauty and the Beast. I still have hope for it, though. I'm not gonna lie, obviously, but the photos, I don't know, maybe I just have to see them come to life, but I'm not into it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought you guys over there would lose your mind.
We got haters corner over here.
Haters.
I'm loving what I'm saying. All right, let's get on with the first official story of the day.
Okay, according to a report from Deadline, Johnny Depp is joining the cast of the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. David Yates will direct the follow-up, with production already set for early next year. No details have been revealed about Depp's role. However, the outlet does reveal that if you look carefully, you might be able to spot him as a cameo in the first installment opening on November 18th. John, thoughts on Johnny Depp joining the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise?
Well, I mean, I think there are two separate stories here. One is the Johnny Depp is joining the franchise. Two is that even before the weekend numbers come in, they're already moving on pre-production on the second one. Now, we already knew they had plans. Right. But normally you wait until you get that first taste of box office. They must feel very, very confident in the box office returns on this. Depp joining it? I don't know. We went through a long stretch with Johnny Depp where, I mean, obviously at a certain time, he was one of the top-notch actors in the business. Then we went through a stretch of films where he did a lot of crap. Right. And we'd say, but it's still Johnny Depp. Let's hang in there. And what was it, Black Christmas he was just in?
Black Mass.
Black Mass, thank you. Black Christmas is a very different movie. Black Mass, and we were kind of expecting an Academy Award-winning performance, and I like what he did in that movie. I do. I like what he did in that movie. But I got to say, I'm no longer in that place where I'm giving Johnny Depp the benefit of the doubt anymore. Now, he's in a place with me where it's like, okay, I'll see what he does, and hopefully he can recapture some of that magic that he used to have in something like this. I'll be honest, I'm approaching it a little bit more skeptically now than I would have before. I'm not sure I like it. Now, the other part about this, there's a lot of speculation going on out there right now that Depp will actually be playing Dumbledore, a young Dumbledore, or as I'm now referring to him as Dumbledepp.
Yeah.
But that Johnny Depp will be a younger Dumbledore, and that there's even some whispers that he's actually going to be a cameo in this first film as Dumbledepp. I don't know if that's true. There's nothing official backing that up, but it is interesting, something interesting to speculate. I would be fine with it if that's who he's playing. If he nails the character, then great. I don't know, Mark, you heard about this. What do you think about it?
That's the big question, is if he nails the character, because the reason why we got sick of Johnny Depp, it wasn't that he was taking these roles that we didn't want him to take. I think it was more so that we just felt like he was over-charactery because he took a cue from what he did so well as Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, and then it started to get a little bit too out there, whether it's with Willy Wonka or Dark Shadows or something on that order. But he's done movies. He's done enough to where, like, when he was in Public Enemies, I thought he was great. Black Mass, I thought he was great, even if his makeup didn't hold up its end of the bargain. But having him in a Fantastic Beasts sequel and announcing it right now gets me more excited for it. Maybe it's just me, but I think Johnny Depp is going to fit into this world very well. It's not where he is to come in and be this crazy, outlandish character and overpower the rest of the movie. I think he's going to come in with the attitude that he's blending into what they've already set up in this first movie and in the Harry Potter universe. This makes a lot of sense to me, and I like it.
Schnepp.
Yeah, I think they should have waited until Fantastic Beasts came out, then make this announcement, because to me, I'm not excited about Johnny Depp when he takes these like super cartoony roles. Like the last performance I saw him in that I liked was Yoga Hosers, and that was him over the top overacting, which made sense in that movie. But like Mordecai, you got Rum
Mordecai, why do you
Diary,
remember
Transcendence. I mean, there's so many roles.
The Tourist.
There's just a lot of stuff where that overactory type of stuff that, you know, I mean, look, I think he's a great actor. Like, we've seen him do amazing roles, but I agree, there's a lot of roles that he's done more recently than before that just are not hitting it, and they just feel too cartoony and like, ew, like it's like I'm a character. And so hearing that he's in Fantastic Beasts actually was a negative for me.
But I think we'll agree, because I'm kind of on the same page as you, but I think we'll agree. If Depp can bring what Depp is capable of, this could be a really good thing. If he can bring it.
Be a great thing.
Now, we've got a couple of Hogwarts alums over there.
Oh, you mean over on Haters Corner?
On Haters Corner
today. What is it, Haters Street or
Ravenclaw,
Haters Corner?
represent. We're Potterheads, okay?
Okay, so Potterhead. So Ashley, do you like the idea of Depp popping up in this universe?
You know, keeping it in the hater land, like, I freaking hate this. Like, what could make Johnny Depp more over the top and more of an overactor than he already is? A wand in his hand. It's all about me. It's all about me. Like, he's just gonna make it all about himself. Could you imagine it with a wand in his hand? It's just gonna be above and beyond.
You know what? I think those glasses are a horcrux of negativity.
That's right.
She puts them on, she gets all mean.
I like this, though. I think he's bringing it.
Wendy, what
like
about
it is,
you? Do you
know?
like the the Dumbledepp idea?
I gotta agree with my girl Ashley here. I am not into it. I feel like he's gonna harm the franchise, and I know they wouldn't cast him if they felt like he was gonna harm the franchise, but just he's been into this like overacting, massive makeup type of roles. So I don't know, maybe this is the right franchise for him to kind of rekindle his stardom, in my opinion. But I also don't think he's going to be playing Dumbledore. I think he's going to be playing Grindelwald.
That's the other theory,
I worry that he's going to bring that like Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow, like welcome to Hogwarts, love sort of a deal, you know.
Hogwarts love. That was a great accent. Well done.
Wow, there's some other breaking news here. There's a children's hospital that's for kids and puppies. Do you guys agree with them building that, or do you guys think that
low
maybe...
blow. All right.
Screw puppies. They had their chance.
I don't like the dress.
All right, what's the next story?
Soon after Paul Feig's reboot of Ghostbusters hit theaters, an executive at Sony Pictures claimed a sequel to the movie would happen. All that changed after the theatrical release, where the box office numbers were not as high as Sony had hoped for. The movie ended up making just over $229 million at the box office, and while a call for a Ghostbusters sequel hasn't been made, Paul Feig is still hoping it will happen. Speaking with the Daily Beast about a possible follow-up, Feig said, "That's up to the studio because they have to pay for it. Nobody's called me. But I love those characters, and I know they are now heroes and mean a lot to a lot of people. So in a perfect world, it would be great if we could see them bust more ghosts, kick more ass, and be awesome again. Mark, do you think there will ever be a sequel to Ghostbusters based on these comments by Paul Feig?
Man, I'm going to say no based on these comments, because Paul Feig is doing what he should be doing, and he's standing in front of his movie and acting like, yeah, we're very proud of what we did. We inspired a lot of people. And I would agree with those sentiments, because I like Ghostbusters. I had a lot of laughs in there. I thought there's a lot of potential in this universe, but it doesn't give me enough to say, yes, you're definitely going to have another Ghostbusters. Financial things aside, I wonder if these four ladies want to go through that again, want to go through all of the negative backlash, much of it totally unwarranted, that they experienced online and in social media and in the world just because they were putting on a Ghostbusters costume. I'm not sure that they want to go through that again, but if the price is right, I would like to see another entry into this Ghostbusters universe, because I think you can do it well, and I think you can improve upon a lot of what the first movie did.
Look, I like his comments, and I agree with you. The comments he says don't exactly give a lot of hope that there would be another one. I'm going to tell you what, we just had Halloween, and I was out walking earlier in the evening, and I was shocked that the whole weekend, actually, how many little girls, and at the Los Angeles Comic-Con as well, how many little girls you saw walking around in Ghostbusters outfits.
Totally.
And I thought, you know what? That's important. That just made me feel good seeing that. You know what? I don't F all of you who don't like the idea that some people liked Ghostbusters. I liked Ghostbusters. And if you didn't, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. It's not the perfect movie, and I had some issues with it too. But all these freaking losers out there dwelling in their mother's basements, he goes, you like Ghostbusters? You're paid off. You're an effing loser. Anyway, it's a movie that had laughs and had some fun to it. Was it as good as the original? Hell no. Was it a great movie? No, it wasn't a great movie. I thought it was enjoyable for what it was. But the bigger thing is that it clearly touched a nerve with a new generation. Because, you know, we were walking around and you see these little girls walking around these outfits. I thought that was great. I would love to see them take another swing at it. If they do, I want to see them make some improvements, absolutely. But I thought you laid the groundwork for something that could be pretty funny and pretty cool. I like these four ladies together. I would like it, but I'm with you, Mark. I don't think it's going to happen.
But let's think about this. Let's think about the fact that it's no longer going to be anchored down, if they do a sequel, to having to give us hallmarks of the original, where you don't have to shoehorn 4 worthless cameos into the movie, or 3 cameos into the movie, and you can do something that's more of your own style, as opposed to making all these hallmarks to the original. Now you can go off and do your own story. I think that it's got a lot of potential.
I think the potential is there. I mean, that they mentioned Zool at the end. I don't want to see. I'm kind of tired of them remaking. So because this Ghostbusters was kind of a straight up remake in many ways, but didn't hit it for me. I liked it. I didn't hate it. I thought a lot of it really worked. I thought Leslie Jones was great. I thought a lot of elements of it was really great. Could they make another sequel? It didn't break even.
No, it lost some money. Didn't lose them a ton of money, but did lose the money.
I mean, it didn't get that money back, and the returns are not, doesn't look like it's going to. So that's a big hit. Can they take a chance? Try to make the sequel for a lot less money is what my suggestion would be, and go to another country too, like go fight ghosts in China or something. I think that would be exciting, at least for myself. Go somewhere that the other Ghostbusters movies haven't gone at all.
Agreed.
And take all 4 of these talented ladies with you. I mean, Paul Feig is a great director. I think, getting over to that hurdle of like, are we remaking it? Is it a reboot? Is it, all this stuff kind of helped ruin the movie, because it was like, is it a remake? They're saying 30 years ago the trailer was a giant disaster.
Oh, so the worst trailer ever made.
They really screwed themselves in the marketing division of this movie. If they just straight up released it, I don't think it would even have half the stink that it had on it.
I think a lot of that budget too was unnecessary, because I didn't think you needed all those visual effects that they threw at you at the end. If you did not necessarily a smaller movie, but you had a tighter budget, maybe you don't release this movie in the middle of the summer either.
No.
If you're doing a sequel, what if you released it around Halloween?
Great point.
What if you had a couple weeks leading up to Halloween? I think that there's less competition for what you're going for. I think there's a chance.
Yeah, and all 4 of those ladies are so funny. You can have 60 minutes of comedy, 30 minutes of special effects.
You know what? You brought up, I think, a genius idea. If I'm the Sony studio head right now, if it was Sony that did it, I think it was Sony that did it. I'm doing this. China.
Yeah.
You just nailed it.
Hang on a sec, John. Sony, you should have listened to me.
Yeah. So,
the glass.
I mean, you take that, because I agree with you. Don't break away. Do something that the other Ghostbusters didn't do. You have them go to China. They get asked to go to China to deal with, like, can you imagine some of the cool, like,
amazing
ancient
ghosts
stuff
from China? Yeah.
And on top, from a business point of view,
Yeah.
you'd then be raking in that China money with stuff like that.
There's ghosts from all around the world.
Yeah, it's something to look at.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, it is Wednesday, which means it's time for us to talk about a little bit of Rewind, brought to you by our friends at AMC Theaters. This is the segment of the show where we talk about the films that are celebrating their 10th anniversaries this week and celebrating their 20th anniversaries. And there's a couple in here that I cannot believe for either of them. Celebrating their 10th anniversary, 10 years ago this week, Borat. Can you believe that was 10 years ago? Borat gets released. The animated film flushed away, and the film that should have never been the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. Celebrating their 20th anniversary this week, Romeo and Juliet, Larger Than Life, and Dear God. Schnepp, you see this list of films. Which ones stand out to you?
Dear God, I have no idea what the hell that is. Larger Than Life. Where was I 20 years ago? I don't know. I don't remember that. Romeo and Juliet sticks out to me. I thought that was a really cool adaptation of Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
I like that. And Borat is the one, the 10-year-old one. That it's hard to believe it's 10 years old, but man, did I laugh. I almost peed my pants in that movie. It was so over the top, crazy, weird, took comedy to an extreme that I never thought I'd see in the theater or on screen anywhere. Hats off to Borat.
What do you think, Mark?
Borat's the one that stands out for me too. I mean, you were wondering if he could bring the same amount of comedy that he did in Ali G and to surpass it in such a way that we're watching it, we could not believe what was happening next. It was an incredible theater experience. And Romeo and Juliet is just something I never got into. I remember trying to watch that movie a bunch of times. I can't stand the Shakespearean lingo in modern times. Not for this guy.
It actually worked for me. That Shakespearean lingo, modern times, the way they like they would use the words like swords, but that was the brand of gun that they would use. So I thought it was very creative. But yeah, Borat for me, it was one of the very first films I think I gave it like a 10 to out of at the time. Now it doesn't hold up to repeat viewings as well. But the thing is, it's not just some lewd, over-the-top physical comedy. There's a brilliance to Borat. The way he took a mirror and held up the mirror to society in such a way that I was watching this movie laughing myself sick, but underneath the laughter, I'm also like thinking a lot about this. This is our world. This is not just our world. This is our community. This is our country. And I thought it was just absolutely brilliant. He was not able to recapture that same magic when he did, what's the designer character of his?
Bruno.
He was not able to recapture it with Bruno.
Or the Dictator. There were a couple
I thought the Dictator was kind of funny. I enjoyed it for what it was, but he's never been able to recapture that moment again, which is too bad. But I just thought Borat was absolutely brilliant. All right, guys, we reached that part of the show now for Buy or Sell. Here's how this works. In front of her ass, she's got a few other items in the world of movie news. She's going to run them down. Then those of us at the table are simply going to say whether we buy it or sell it. So, Horcrux glasses, Ashley, what do we have?
Well, Sony is clearly looking for something that will appeal to a broad audience with the upcoming Uncharted movie, but it seems as though they're willing to trust writer Joe Carnahan with the script, rather than attempting to make an Indiana Jones clone. Collider's own Steve Weintraub recently spoke to Carnahan, who offered an update on the production, revealing he spoke with director Sean Levy about capturing a tone that evokes Raiders of the Lost Ark, but also has a very anti-Indiana Jones feel. I can tell you this, what I've written is very anti-indie in the sense of the guy that loves museums and wants to preserve these artifacts. He's not. He's a thief and he's a grifter and he's a scourge. He and Sully are not good guys, but they're better than the bad guys. I honestly think this one's got a real shot. And I was really glad when Sean came on because I'm too deep into Bad Boys and I really want to see that through. Schnepp, buy or sell Uncharted as the anti-Indiana Jones?
Totally buy this. I think Joe Carnahan, he's awesome. I love the scripts he's written. I like his take on this. I mean, it sounds exciting. I don't want to see another Indiana Jones, so that he's going with the anti-Indiana Jones. I mean, I want to see another Indiana Jones. It's called Indiana Jones. That's what I want to see.
Right.
If you're not doing that, then I think it sounds like he's got a great take on it, and with Sean Levy, directing it, that sounds awesome. Plus, I'm a descendant of Sir Francis Drake too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
The glasses.
It's the glasses that did it. Mark, what do you think?
I'm buying this, John, and I was like a lot of people out there probably saw a headline and wanted to sell it because you're like, what, are you going to talk crap about Indiana Jones, one of the great film franchises of all time? No, he's not doing that. He's just saying this character is very different and his motivations are very odd when you compare them to Indiana Jones, and I think it makes sense for this particular dude, Nathan Drake. I love these comments. It seems like he's excited about it. They really got something cooking here, John.
I think these are the perfect comments because you know what? Look, we've always said this before, and Carnahan said this in the same interview. He goes like, look, we can't make it exactly like the video game. You cannot do that. You have to adapt it for the big screen, which is something we're always preaching here. Absolutely. But you got to get that character right. You've got to get Nathan Drake right. And it sounds like they're approaching Nathan Drake with the exact right philosophy. And you know what? I am officially now shifting my hope. Remember, for the last couple of years, we've been saying, the hope for video game movies is coming this year with Warcraft and Assassin's Creed. I enjoyed Warcraft, but it was absolutely not the game changer we were hoping it would be. We got Assassin's Creed coming out. I'm getting nervous about Assassin's Creed, to be honest. I cannot wait to see it, but I'm getting nervous about it. Hearing what this guy is saying, combined, I think Levy is going to be the right director for it. I am officially shifting my hope for the thing that will actually elevate video game movies to an upper level is now going on Uncharted. That's where my hope now lies. And so overall, I've got to absolutely buy these comments. All right, what's next?
A new trailer for Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, has finally dropped online. The film stars Vin Diesel in the title role and is directed by Disturbia's DJ Caruso. The sequel resurrects Diesel's character that was created in the midst of the extreme sports craze of the early 2000s, sending him off on another adventure. The film also stars Ruby Rose, Nina Dobrev, Toni Collette, Donnie Yen, Tony Jaa, with Samuel L. Jackson also reprising his role as Agent Augustus Gibbons. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage will hit theaters on January 20th, 2017. John, buy or sell the first full trailer for Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage.
It's so bad that I gotta buy it. Like, what became clear, like the first 10 seconds, you're thinking, oh gosh, this is bad. But about 30 seconds into it, you start to tune in. That's kind of what they're going for. They are utterly going to be completely ridiculous. That's what they're going for. And as that trailer progressed, I thought, he's saying some damn dumbass things and they're doing some really weird, but you know what? I'm getting into it. I kind of tuned my brain into it. And like I said, and look, good Canadian girl, Nina Dobrev. Always happy to see a good Canadian girl getting more work in there. So that's great too. Seeing Donnie Yen in there certainly elevated it a little bit. So is it dumb and ridiculous? Yes, but it kind of feels to me like that's exactly what they're going for. And I think there's going to be some good laughs and some good exciting moments in it. For now, I reserve the right to change my mind later. For now, it's a buy. Mark.
Yeah, I look at this trailer like I look at buying like a beer at a baseball game where it's like, really? That you're going to charge me this much for just the fine, and I'll still pony up the cash because I dress like Vin Diesel does in this character when I'm home on the weekends. So I have to buy it from that perspective. And also, it just looks like a dumb, fun action movie. Here's where I get nervous, though, is if it makes a crap ton of money and we start getting like a new Triple X every 2 years. I don't really want that. I would not be heartbroken if this movie bombs and eats it. I think we're going to have a lot of dumb fun shoving popcorn in our face and watching this movie and then forgetting it as soon as we leave the theater. But I think it accomplished what it wanted to with this trailer.
Schnepp.
So y'all know that I'm a giant extreme sports fan. So
you're skateboarding to work every day.
Rocking out, really extreme in all levels. So this movie, Triple X, comes out 15 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago. Almost 2 decades. It almost belongs up on the, how old are we kind of, looking at. So movie comes out, Vin Diesel's already kind of a dude. He's like doing the, Fast and Furious films. And, it was fun. I remember it being fun. I didn't hate it. I went and saw it. I was like, yeah, Triple X, whatever. It was a cool action film. I never thought I'd see a sequel. In fact, I did see a sequel. It was with Ice Cube, and I regretted it.
Yes.
That was their escape clause.
That was the Santa Claus.
The escape clause.
I buy this trailer. It is so stupid that I couldn't help but halfway through it start laughing out loud.
Right? You couldn't stop watching it. You couldn't hit
then
stop.
It just gets dumber and more. It felt to me like I was like, this is a true 80s action film come to life with the self-aware knowledge that it's dumb and stupid. And it's got everything. It's like all the lines that Vin Diesel even says in it are just, it's actually like he's being meta about stuff. No,
Yeah.
I don't want this. I want this. Even dumber, like guys screaming and like doing crazy stunts. It
Wait,
just,
for an international espionage mission, you want a rave DJ?
that's right.
Yeah.
Get rid of the guys who might actually, the Navy SEALs ejected from a plane. I want these grunts and weirdos, you know, who are going to cause damage to everything and maybe fail in the mission. Hell yeah. So everything I saw in this trailer, I was like, I can't even believe that I'm into this, like the Return of Xander Cage. I'd be like, if you told me this last year, I'd be like, I'm going into the future to punch my future self out, and now I have to go back into the past and shut my old self out. I'd be like, sorry, dude, you're going in a cage.
You know, by the way, guys, our very own Christian Harloff and Kenny Knapsack did a trailer reaction to that. You can find it on our page. Make sure you check it out. But listen, if you didn't get the total self-awareness of this trailer and what they were going for, then Sam Jackson puts an exclamation point on it at the end when he goes,
Totally.
save the world, get the girl, and try to look dope while you're doing it.
Right?
It's like, if you weren't fully
Right.
aware of what they were going for
Right.
with this movie.
Get these snakes off my mother effing plane with Xander Cage.
Yep, that's pretty much it. All right, what's next?
Fox Searchlight has released the first trailer for Gifted, directed by Marc Webb. The film stars Chris Evans as Frank Adler, a single parent trying to raise his 7-year-old niece, Mary, who is revealed to be a math prodigy. While Frank wants to hold to his late sister's wishes and try to give Mary a normal childhood, he runs up against his formidable mother, who wants to enroll her in a special program for gifted students. The film opens on April 12, 2017. Mark, buy or sell the first trailer for Gifted.
Oh, fine, I'll buy it, Ashley. You talked about my heartstrings. It looks like a Hallmark movie, but it looks like a nice, enjoyable Hallmark movie. We were talking about Chris Evans yesterday,
Yeah.
and whether he's one of those guys and how his career would be going if he was no longer Captain America. So I'm excited to see him step out of those shoes and into something that feels a little more, emotional, or something that's a smaller story. But you still might really end up caring about this thing. The trailer got me enough to where I'm going to give it a buy.
What do you think, Schnepp?
It's like Good Will Hunting, I Am Sam, Bizarro mixture, kind of like, yeah, definitely. It looked fun in like that kind of like, yeah, like you said, like a Hallmark kind of cry fest type thing. I don't know if I want to see it though. After I saw the trailer, I just felt like I saw all the story beats of the trailer, like father going through difficulties, getting the kid taken away, then she's super smart with math, and then the government wants to get her taken away, and then there's also like the people who are helping also love the kid, and blah blah blah. It just felt like, it's almost paint by numbers to me. So I gotta sell it.
Felt kind of like Midnight Special, like without
Yeah,
the alien stuff.
I've
Well, let's
seen
say-
this movie done better. That's all.
What if at the final shot of the trailer is her standing there and then 2 claws pop out of her fist?
I would think I would sell
Yeah,
it
that's
even
it.
harder. I think I would sell it harder.
I got to tell you, I hard buy this. I loved this trailer. I think Marc Webb is onto something here. I think it reveals to me a story that could be a lot deeper than just the trailer is showing off. And I had the opposite reaction as you. The trailer actually made me really interested in this story. You put Octavia Spencer in there as well. I thought Evans looked great in it, to be honest. And a lot of times child actors annoy me. This kid didn't annoy me.
No.
I thought the kid did really well. So for me, it's a pretty solid buy. All right, what's next?
Do you guys watch The Kroll Show?
The what
yeah.
show?
Nick
The Kroll
Kroll?
Show
Yeah.
with Nick Kroll?
Oh, no, but I keep
He's
watching because I love
fantastic.
him.
Yeah.
Nick Kroll in Loving, like, I love that he's kind of branching out of that comedy genre. And in this trailer, I saw one of the girls that are that's on that show. Her name is, let me pull it
right, I know
up,
who
Jenny
you're talking
Slate.
about. Yeah.
And she's hilarious, and I love seeing her in more of a serious role. So I love seeing actors like branch out. I'm excited for this one.
Nice.
All right, Logan director James Mangold has revealed another new photo and storyboards from the upcoming third Wolverine movie. The movie is the last for Hugh Jackman's character and also stars Sir Patrick Stewart, Boyd Holbrook, Stephen Merchant, Eric LaSalle, Elise Neal, and Elizabeth Rodriguez. Logan will hit theaters on March 3rd, 2017. Schnepp Barcel, the new image and storyboards for Logan.
I'm buying it. I would love to see them release a black and white version. You know how they've been doing that? Like they did
Yeah.
a Mist. They redid it and released it on video. Then Mad Max Fury Road, they did a blood and chrome version. I love all the images that I'm seeing in black and white from just the set visits. I'm wondering if this movie, if they did a double release, like color and black and white, or if they muted a lot of it once they go through color correction, if they made it closer to black and white. because I really dig it. So I mean, the storyboards and the pictures that they've been releasing, along with that Johnny Cash trailer, has got me sold on the film.
Mark?
Yeah, it's an easy buy for me. I mean, I look at these images and I hear Johnny Cash. Like that
right.
His version of that Nine Inch Nails song is going to be so synonymous with this movie. You can't separate one from the other, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's a cool seeing the storyboard shots and how well they translate onto the live action. Just seeing Hugh Jackman as this character, it just looks like the perfect send-off for Wolverine.
Hard sell. And the reason I'm going to sell this is because I love that trailer so much. The trailer was so good. I am bursting at the seams to see this movie. But guess what? We've seen the trailer now. We know it's not in black and white. Stop putting out these images in black and white. That was fine and cool leading up to the trailer. That was great. But now we've seen the trailer. We know it's in color. We've seen the images in color. Give up on the little.
But John,
the
is it in color?
Are they going to pull a fast one on us? I just stopped putting. I mean, the pictures look great, of course they do, but the movie's not in black and white. Stop putting out the
You
pictures
sound
in
like
black and
Ted
white.
Turner right now. We got to colorize everything.
Right.
Everything's got to be put in color. Don't you ever take a picture and you're like, you know what? I don't like the way that looks in color. So when I post on Instagram, I'm going to go black and white and make it look all cool.
Yes, and that was great before the trailer came out.
I know your life is in color. If you posted something in black and white, I'd be like, oh, Jon Campea. Oh, God, he's in black and white. We need to help him.
If that Gifted trailer was in black and white, I would have bought it. I'm just saying.
If we didn't see the yellow in Belle's
Yeah.
dress, hard buy for me.
All right, listen, guys. Don't forget, we do this show live. So at the end of the show, we're going to save a few minutes, take some of your live Twitter questions. Hop on Twitter, make sure you're following us at Collider Video, and start firing those questions in. Wendy will pick a couple out at the end. Now, before we get to anything else, as you know, we started a new series around here called Crash Course. Short videos that give you a quick crash course on certain topics. We've got an entire playlist of them on our YouTube channel. You can find issues like Deathstroke, Mr. Sinister, Rita Repulsa. There's a whole bunch of them. You can go check them out. And now we want to show you our latest one, which is on this whole theory that started going around online about Boba Fett maybe being Snoke. Now, as much as I write that off immediately, when you hear Mark Ellis, there is some logical reason why some people believe this, but we still don't. Anyway, check this out.
Welcome to Collider Crash Course. This week's vid, Boba Fett is not Snoke. We crossed Mace Windu off the list, but now it's time to dive back into the wild, wild west of Snoke theories to hone in on one of the craziest ones that really hit a nerve with the fan community. Of course, we're talking about that guy, Boba Fett.
Bounty hunters. We don't need that scum.
There's a theory that states that Supreme Leader Snoke is actually Boba Fett. Many of you are like me, and we never got over the fact that the feared bounty hunter was killed by a blind, stumbling Han Solo accidentally knocking him into the pit of Carcoon. So now we're all looking for a clue, any clue, to justify his resurrection and return back to his rightful place in canon. So let's start by looking at the most obvious clue in this alleged return, the video games. Thanks to Star Wars Battlefront, Boba Fett does appear to be alive and well, as you can play him as a character in the game. On the level known as the Battle of Jakku, Fett is seen shooting rebel scum near the crashed Star Destroyer, the same crashed Star Destroyer Rey later scales in The Force Awakens. But is that appearance in the game enough to confirm his survival? Or is this canon? We hate to break the hearts of the Fett faithful, but...
It's not canon.
The only reason Boba Fett appears in the game is because people like us love disintegrating other players online. He's really good at making a lot of money for Battlefront. Moreover, Patrick Bach, the GM of DICE Video Games, told IGN that Star Wars Battlefront probably shouldn't be considered canon. So...
He's no good to me dead.
Now let's turn our attention to something I'm horrible at, reading books. In the novel Star Wars Aftermath by Chuck Wendig, which is canon, there's an interlude that takes place on Tatooine that features a character named Cobb Vanth, who comes across some mysterious Mandalorian armor in the possession of the Jawas. That armor is described as pitted and pocked by some sort of acid and looking to have been through hell and back. Well, that's a tasty treat of fan service alluding to the idea that Boba Fett survived his Sarlacc pit fall. But that's not confirmation. Even if the armor was recovered, who is to say Boba Fett's body isn't resting in the belly of that beast for what looks to be about another 950 years? The meat of this theory actually looks at the animated musical Anastasia.
Grandma, it's me, Anastasia.
Yes, Anastasia. The theorist notes that The Force Awakens plot is very similar to the plot of Anastasia and makes the jump to claim that the scarred, vengeful Boba Fett is the Rasputin of the story, creating the alter ego of Snoke looking for revenge against the family that wronged him, the Solo family. But in order to buy that, you'll also have to buy that Rey is a Solo as well. So for all of you subscribing to the Rey is Luke's daughter idea, this is not the theory you're looking for.
Move along.
However, this theory was given a little bit of legitimacy when George Lucas's own son, Jet, tweeted, "Anastasia and The Force Awakens have strikingly similar stories." Here are the story basics. A child helplessly watches a vehicle fly away. Later, all grown up, she meets a young man desperate to escape his past. He helps her leave, but then she's abducted by the villain, and said young man attempts to save her. That ends with him knocked unconscious with the girl fearing for her life. She summons the power within her to save the day, after which she's reunited with her family, only to leave again to fully embrace her full destiny.
Impressive, most impressive.
As this is the plot of Anastasia, you'll no doubt see the Star Wars parallels, with Rey's story being the deep and profound tragedy that ripped the Solo family apart. It's further stated that proof of Rey's parentage is given credence by the longing looks from Han in the movie, with the theory also targeting the fact that Leia hugs Rey and not Chewbacca after the death of Han. That must mean that she's Rey's mother, right? They even throw in that the book Bloodline features a music box with lyrics perfectly matching to the most popular song from Anastasia. While this is a very creative and clever thought, let's point out the obvious. Boba Fett is a clone. He's a clone of Jango Fett. And last time we checked, Jango Fett was not Force sensitive. So if we do the math, and I was told there would be no math, Boba Fett is not Force sensitive. He didn't just suddenly crawl out of the Sarlacc pit, dust himself off, and be like, I think I'll do some Force learning today. Why? Because I want to seduce a young Jedi while building an army known as the First Order. Boba Fett was a badass without any identity other than a cool costume when we first met him in The Empire Strikes Back.
Actually, Boba Fett's first appearance was the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Please don't bring up the holiday special. Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore.
Thank you, George. His legend grew in Attack of the Clones, and that's where it was cemented in canon for all times that Boba Fett is a clone. Plain and simple, and clones do not use the Force. To assume that Snoke is scarred and angry because of his time in the Sarlacc pit, it just don't add up. Bounty hunters can be many things, but this one is not Snoke.
I wish I had your confidence.
Good job, Mark. Well
Thank you.
done.
Thank
By
you,
the way,
everybody.
you can check
Thank
out that
you.
video. You can share that video, find all the other Crash Course videos did on our Crash Course playlist on our YouTube channel. With that being said, it is time for Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a topic or a question you'd like us to address on the show, you can just email us anytime at collidervideo@gmail.com. Send them on in. Ashley, what is our Mailbag question today?
David Prar writes, Hey Collider crew, love the show. Now that all 6 comic book films have come out this year, how would you rank them?
Schnepp, let's start with you. We've had 6 major comic book superhero movies this year. Some great ones, some not so great ones. How do you rank them from number 6 to number 1 this year?
Wait, I gotta find mine
Oh,
because I sent it to you.
is 6 too big of a number? Is there too many?
I think I could do it from memory. All right,
right.
Screw it. I'm doing this from memory.
Wow. Glasses.
It's glasses, dudes. Whatever. So number 1 is Captain America: Civil War. Number 2 is Doctor Strange. Number 3 is Deadpool. Number 4 is Suicide Squad. Number 5 is X-Men, and number 6 is Batman v Superman. And coming in down there, and number 413 is Max Steel.
Yes, we are not counting Max Steel as one. But okay, so Mark, let's go to you then.
Yeah.
Going from number 6 up to number 1, how would you rank
You're
these things?
switching it up on me now.
Yeah,
but
I know,
look,
I know.
I am always happy to talk about this in a year when we do get 6 comic book movies, just in general. As we were talking about in the pre-production meeting, we get 6 comic book movies, like every year now.
Think about it. Just a couple of years ago, think about that we're going to have a year where we have 6 major comic book movies. It's the golden age.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
We
anyway.
were so spoiled. It was a dogfight at the bottom and at the top for me. At number 6, I had to put Suicide Squad. Even though I love these Squad, I just didn't like the movie they were in that much. At number 5 is Batman v Superman. Just edging that one out is X-Men Apocalypse. Coming in at number 3 is the new one, Doctor Strange. At number 2, I have Deadpool. And man, it was tough putting Deadpool as a second horse to anybody, but Captain America Civil War, it just stole my heart with that airplane scene and everything else that movie gave us. So that's why it's number 1.
All right, I'm going to go a little bit different from both of your lists. At number 6, the one movie that really did disappoint me this year was X-Men Apocalypse. That was, coming off of what I think is the best X-Men movie they ever did with X-Men Days of Future Past. They went out and did at least the worst of the new era of X-Men films that they've done. Right. So that's the one that kind of just, I still enjoyed it. I mean, I had a good time, but it did disappoint me. So that's at number 6. Number 5 for me is Suicide Squad. I liked it. I had a good time with it. Thought it was fun. Certainly, I mean, the editing was bad, and they could have come up with a better story, certainly, and the dancing villain, whatever.
Welcome to the jungle.
So, yeah, so I like Suicide Squad, but it comes in number 5. Number 4 for me is Batman v Superman, another movie I liked, but, certainly had issues, could have been better. Number 3 for me is Doctor Strange. Such a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting that much from Doctor Strange, and it ended up just giving me a really great time at the theater. And then I'm going to cheat. I've gone back and forth on this. I have to give a tie to first.
We categorically do not. You emailed me last night at midnight,
ties
and you said, "What is
this.
your list?" And you can't, in your head, rectify a number 1 and a number 2. I demand from you, John Campea. What is number 1?
There is no tie in this universe.
Okay, so here's the thing. So I think Civil War is a bit better of a movie. I enjoyed Deadpool a little bit more. So I'm constantly swapping my number 1 spot with Deadpool.
You could change your mind tomorrow, but you have to make a decision. All right, this is what I'll do today.
Fine. As of for this moment, coming in at number 2 is Deadpool. So thoroughly enjoyable, that movie. And I will go my number 1. I mean, it's that number, like Captain America's Civil War. So good. Like, it just blew every expectation. We had high expectations, and it blew all the expectations out of the water. So me, I'll just run them down again. Damn you for making me choose. All right, number 6, X-Men Apocalypse.
This was your idea to do this countdown.
I know. Number 6, X-Men Apocalypse. Number 5, Suicide Squad. Number 4, Batman v Superman. Number 3, Doctor Strange. Number 2 is Deadpool. Number 1 is Captain America Civil War. Remind us of yours again.
Here lies John Campea. He chose Civil War over Deadpool. At number 6, I have Suicide Squad. At number 5, I have Batman v Superman. At number 4, I have X-Men Apocalypse. 3 is Doc Strange. 2 is Deadpool. And number 1, like you, Captain America Civil War.
And Schnepp, your 6 again?
Yeah, I had, let's see, it's so hard to remember. I can't do this backwards count. I can only go from number 1, which was Captain America Civil War. Number 2 was Doctor Strange. I love that film. Deadpool's number 3. Suicide Squad was number 4. X-Men Apocalypse was number 5. And Batman v Superman was number 6 for me. Though I love the ultimate cut, but I'm not counting that.
All right, guys, so now this is what you need to do. Jump into the comments section and leave your list for all of us to comment on from 6 to 1. How would you rank the comic book movies of 2016? Now, we're going to get to our Twitter questions, but before we do, I want to remind you that Movie Talk is not the only show on Collider Video today. A little bit later today, this gentleman over here will have his show Heroes drop at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also a little bit later today, the Heroes panel that we did at the Los Angeles Comic-Con is going to go up as well. Keep your eyes on that. And the movie trivia Schmodown panel we did at LA Comic-Con will be going up tomorrow. Also, don't forget, Nightmares went up yesterday. The Team Schmodown battle between Heroes and Patriots went up yesterday. Keep your eyes on all of that stuff. So, with that out of the way, let's get to your Twitter questions. Wendy, what do we got?
First one comes from Graham Butler, and he writes, chances of Oscar love for Hacksaw Ridge, I just said that backwards, Hacksaw Ridge given history versus critical acclaimed, or is the Academy not ready?
Oh, I think Hacksaw Ridge is going to get a lot of Academy love. I really do. I think there's a very strong chance it probably gets a Best Picture thing. There, from everything. Now, this is hard for me because I have not seen the movie yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow night.
You haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge?
No, I wasn't available the evenings of the screening, so I couldn't go see it. But everybody I know who has seen it is like, this is a damn good movie. I'm hearing potential Best Director nods for Mel Gibson. I'm hearing potential Best Actor nods for Andrew Garfield. I'm hearing Best Picture potential, although apparently this year is going to be a stacked year for the Best Picture race. But absolutely, you're going to hear some Oscar love. So what do you think?
I think Hacksaw Ridge, I have seen the movie, and I thought it was tremendous. I would throw it in the mix for Best Picture and definitely for Best Actor, Andrew Garfield. Mel Gibson, because there's only 5 directors that get nominated every year, I don't know if you're going to see Mel Gibson's name there, but he did a fantastic job with this one. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, Mel Gibson as a director, I mean, not even counting Braveheart, Apocalypto is just a standout movie. So I'm really excited to see this film. I'm sure if it's what everybody's talking about, you're going to see it on the Oscar nominations in some form or way, some shape or the other.
Vince Vaughn and Sam Worthington really good in this movie, too.
All right, what's next?
Kimberly Grosser writes, now we have more images for Beauty and the Beast. What is the likelihood of getting a trailer in the next week?
I thought we...
This happens. This happens sometimes.
Although this happened a lot lately.
We talk about, man, when are we going to get a trailer for blah, 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 and then blah, blah, blah comes out with a trailer the next morning. I'm not guaranteeing that with Beauty and the Beast. I bet you it might get attached to, I don't know, but there's a big movie from Disney Studios coming out this weekend, Doctor Strange.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, still ways. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get one in the next few weeks. I hope we do. I mean, usually what happens is when a new poster drops, almost like clockwork, 24 hours later, a new trailer will drop. Now that this EW covers come out with all these images, I've heard nothing about a new trailer coming, but I guess let's not be surprised if we get a new one tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're also hearing a Wonder Woman trailer is supposed to drop tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow
so maybe
morning.
tomorrow could be a huge trailer day. All right, what's next?
Do you guys think that they're going to put it together with Moana that comes out on November 23rd?
That's a great call.
I mean, that would seem to make sense.
Or if they really wanted to boost it and come out with Rogue One, you know, just wait another
I think you'll
month.
definitely see it by Rogue One, and it might be the same trailer that debuts either Moana or Fantastic Beasts, and then is also going to be attached to Rogue One.
All right, let's take two more questions.
Okay, Joshua Wilburn writes, if Logan succeeds, could you see more independent-styled superhero movies being made?
Look, whenever a movie comes out and that is a little bit off the beaten path and it crushes it, you're damn sure that every other studio's got 5 projects that look just like it going into the works. If Logan comes out and it crushes it, and let's remember, we're assuming from the images and the trailers that's going to be a real indie feel kind of film. Who knows? We may go into the theater and may be a big blockbuster kind of film. I mean, we don't know. But if it is the way it looks and it was a hit, let's say it makes 140 million opening weekend, yeah, all these other studios are going to be grasping at maybe some indie titles too, to try to make another movie that feels like it.
And R-rated too.
And R-rated,
pushing it without the comedy. This is an R-rated movie. Then you'll see that kind of, there's a ton of graphic novels and other comic book style films that are more like aimed for adults that will then, a slew of those will get activated.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see him like jam it in if the material doesn't present itself like that. Like, I don't want to see a gritty, independent Ninja Turtles movie.
Right.
However, if you're going to try to reboot something like Spawn or create something like Sandman, maybe this is the conduit, because Logan does well, Deadpool did well in a very different style, but I think that could be a way for other studios to be like, look, this can make money.
All right, last question of the day.
Okay, last one comes from Coffin Builder 89, who writes, what would you think of a Mandalorian film, including Boba Fett, possibly versus Sabine, in theory, of course?
Of a movie of that? Well, look, we've got a new episode of Rebels coming that we get to see early here, and I've already watched it actually. That does focus on Sabine and the Mandalorians and stuff like that. As a movie, nah, absolutely not.
I just don't see it as a movie. I mean, I love Boba Fett as a character, but I've always been on the train that I don't know that we need a Boba Fett standalone movie. Even when they announced it and Josh Trank might be the guy directing it, it just seems like it's material more suited for an episodic like Netflix, and I don't need that much behind the mask of Boba Fett. I like keeping the mystery of him a mystery.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see all of those bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back all going after one per, make a big bounty hunter
Which is what we
film.
kind of thought Rogue One in the early days. That's
Yes.
kind of what we thought Rogue One might
Yeah,
be.
I mean, that's what I'd like to see. I don't think a Boba Fett, standalone film with just him. I don't know. It's like, it depends on if they made it like a Wild West film or not.
I wouldn't hate seeing him pop up in the Han Solo movie at all, though. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That could fit. All right, guys, that'll do it for us for this installment of Movie Talk. Thanks for joining us. Sitting over there, Mr. Jon Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram, just at Jon Schnepp. Later today, Collider Heroes at 2, and then our panel, the Collider Heroes live panel we did at San Luis Comic-Con, is going to be popping up, so definitely check that out.
Mr. Mark Ellis.
This weekend, I take a break from being a zit on the butt of humanity, and I'm actually doing something good. I'm doing a walk for autoimmune illness awareness. We're raising money to battle these diseases. If you guys want to help out, all you have to do is go to my Twitter feed right now, at Mark Ellis Live. It's my pinned tweet. Click there, donate any. We really appreciate it.
Wendy Lee, where can people find you online?
You can find me on YouTube at The Movie Couple channel and on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Wendy Lee Zaney.
And of course, with her Horcrux, we've got Ashley Mova. Ashley, where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Ashley Mova. Happy Wednesday, guys.
And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, simply at Jon Campea. Make sure you subscribe and follow Comic-Con HQ, where Jon Schnepp and I have our show, Film HQ, every Saturday. That'll do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.